Więc pograłem trochę obstreamowo. Wbiłem trochę giru na wyższy level. Mamy wszystko na 7 na maksa. Choć nie wiem, czy ten karabin w końcu jest dobry, czy nie. Więc sobie będę wbijał jeszcze oportunistę na pewno. Na wyższy level. Ale wcześniej chcę pozostałe wbić. Elitarny klejnot, ił i elitarny klejnot i ił. No to hajsy zbieramy teraz. Wiedźmińskie gówna. Idziemy to zadanie zrobić. Zobaczymy, co się tam stanie.
Here we are. Let us find the graves of Alexander and Ruth, and whatever got Kate up acting so strange.
Someone's been doing some undertaking.
In New Eden, there's much to be done.
Kurwa. Straszą mnie po nocy.
Grey robbers.
Yes, but what exactly were they stealing?
Kurwa, spudwałem. Get the fuck out.
If undertakers did this, they should find other work.
I doubt there's a job on Earth that suits whatever did this.
Co to kurwa jest?
Decoys to distract wayward specters. Rudimentary. Someone's had a little training.
Jebańce.
Here
Alexander
did lie
Watson.
Alexander Watson.
Did Caleb take their bodies?
Someone did, and he's at the top of my list.
Miał jakieś zwłoki z
Made
tyłu.
quite the mess. Perhaps the decoys may show us the way.
Follow the path. Don't get too close.
I'll try.
That's what I was talking about when I said don't get too close.
Dzięki. Chodź tu.
Demonology.
Uuu.
I should have
A, to może ten
known.
kapucyn tego typa jest zamieszany w to.
This fella again.
He's persistent. I'll grant him that.
1400.
Good.
No już nie.
Piss off! Oh, I hate those things.
Nice.
Wasn't your first.
Aye, thank you.
Shrines now? With bones?
It's like Lady Blackwood's boudoir around here.
Kurwa, jakieś... O czym oni gadają?
Shreds of a memory linger here.
Zobaczmy.
Oh, there, fella. You're nasty, aren't you?
Nasty, yes. But also shoddy. It's very
O nie,
poor
to ten
work.
to testuje ten młody, kurwa, to wszystko. Nie mam pergaminu.
Are you sure we didn't miss anything?
With a bit of luck, we'll find what we need. What is this?
It looks like a butchered version of the ritual of lesser palingenesis.
The ritual of... that ritual? The one that brings someone back? That ritual?
Yes, that ritual.
Ojej. Ustawy rytuał. Wywołanie... Wywołanie chyba, nie? Zobaczymy.
As flesh unto verb, as verb unto heart, as heart unto flesh. Death's knot is unsevered and I shall cut it.
The fuck? Co się dzieje? Opętało go coś. A, to jest jego brat. Boy? A, Aleksander.
Caleb Watson invoked a ghost without a body for it to inhabit, so it took his. Caleb is no longer Caleb.
Is he still in there too?
He used pieces of his wife and also of his brother.
Ruth, Alexander, Caleb, could be any combination of them in there.
Let's go find out which.
Aha.
All is well. Nothing bad will ever come to us again.
O nie. Oni opanowali jego ciało.
Shite off.
We've been to God's Acre. Quite a tale it told us. You're not Caleb, are you? Or at least not entirely.
Ah, can't fog you. Alexander Watson. Long tale short, Caleb tried to bring his dead wife back. And I live here now.
So many questions. Where to even start?
He was trying to bring his wife back. How did you end up in the mix?
Caleb made a fine cobbler, a poor brother, a worse husband, and a truly terrible witch. The ritual went to shite, because... of course it did.
Do both of you share Caleb's body?
Share? No. This house of flesh is mine. But because I am a generous man, I allow my brother to live in the cellar. We were twins. I was the rotten half, they said. But who's the rotten half now? There's something else you should know, if you don't know it already. I'm not alone. I completed the ritual. My darling Ruth is in here too.
Caleb was no saint, but this is hellish grim. Does he deserve it?
Aye, he does. And it's not like I killed him. He's alive in here somewhere. Watching me ruin his name. He can hear me now. Destroying his reputation. As I had to hear him destroy mine when he painted me a fornicator.
How nice.
He took our love, Ruth and mine, and killed it. Now our love's reborn, and he can do naught but sit and watch. Caleb was a cad. Shite on him. Let him suffer.
O kurwa, nieźle.
You died trying to save Ruth from a burning house. True.
True.
And where was Caleb while all this was happening?
He was there. He stood rooted in place, frozen in fear. And then it was too late. He could do nothing but watch us burn. Caleb's name was ruined then. We're just putting the boot in.
Okay.
You used the ritual to bring Ruth's spirit into Caleb's body. Why?
Love moves a soul to strange endeavors. We deserve a better life. I set myself to claiming it.
Ooh.
I understand your anger, more so your desire. But what of Ruth's? Did you consider what she wanted?
Caleb stole a life from me, but he also stole Ruth's voice. She shrank beneath him. Of course she wanted a second chance at life.
I'd like to hear this from Ruth. May I please speak with her?
No! We've carved ourselves out a little happiness at last. I'll not have you break it.
Zaatakuje mnie?
Leave us alone. Give us this.
We need to speak to her, one way or another. If he won't tell us anything, perhaps the house Ruth died in will.
Jakieś wieści w okolicy?
You're well placed to see what goes on around here. Help me out. Have you seen anything noteworthy?
I've made a point of keeping people away, but I seek things. And I take note.
Lammy Haskell. Any thoughts about him?
The Haskell boy? What about him? He's weird. Talked with Caleb about nonsense. Both of them were full of shite.
What's your take on the governor?
My brother gave him the glad hand act, and the governor lapped it up. Haskell's opinion of himself is far too high. To win his favour, you need only prop him up. He dragged my name through the dirt. Shite on him, and his so-called eloquence. What use is a silver tongue when your heart is yellow?
Tell me about folk here. Who stands out for you? What think you of them?
What think I of they who shunned me? Gulled by my black-mouthed brother. What think I of malicious fools for whom I had to die to be redeemed? I'd say a curse upon them. But 'tis too late. The curse has already come.
How goes the settlement, would you say?
It's going to hell in a shitting handcart. Not that I care, mind. But there's sport in guessing who shall live and who shall die. Hope they find that witch, though. Can't have witches about the place doing the devil's work.
Co?
I'll be leaving you.
Alone? Not really. Hush now. All is well.
Nie, pan jest.
Xander are having an affair in her husband's body.
I'll not judge, no matter how much I want to.
Something feels wrong. Something about Ruth. If we find the ghost tie, we can talk to her.
O, skrzynka. Ubił pogromcy, co to daje? O. Spalony dom. Czy to nie jest na górze?
The house that burned down.
Może
The
tutaj.
roof fell in with them inside.
There's a lot of debris.
Nie wejdziemy tędy. Z góry pewnie. Uja, nie z góry.
Destroy those ghost wards if you want me back. A ward restrains me. The ghost wards feel far away from here. Just one keeps me from manifesting. Fancy knocking it down?
Tak.
I can manifest now.
Aha, i tak to trzeba było zrobić.
Easy as pie.
Nah, but you can't cook.
Aha. Ach, to jest przejście jakieś. O. Okej, chyba nie ma tędy przejścia. Mhm. Ja tylko mogę to posunąć. Okej. Nie dalej. Co to jest? Aha. Za mocno ją kochał. Lol.
Time must be nearby.
I tak do końca nie spłonął ten dom.
This work shows real sensitivity. Caleb?
Maybe. Not Alexander. I suspect we've just learnt a little about Ruth.
Okej. Co?
Of course. Ruth's heart binds them like a bushel of rotting corn.
No i?
You! What do you have there? Stop right there, you rank ramp! Whatever you found, it ain't yours!
You buried Ruth's heart in the ashes of the house that killed her. I find that odd.
You, a ghost, went digging in the ashes of a dead woman's house. You're ill-positioned to call me odd. Don't think I haven't felt your presence before.
Stow your tongue while I speak with Ruth. Ruth, can you hear me? Can you speak?
Puck off and die! I'm in charge here. No. Hush ye, Alexander. I'll speak. I'm Ruth. I hear you.
Kurwa.
I'm Antea Duarte, here to help.
I'm glad. Please, end this nightmare. Help me. Ugh, go to hell in a bag of shite. We're fine, and you have not the right. You hear? You've not the right.
Ukazanie czy wyzwolenie? Nie wiem, czy to
My
zadziała.
heart! Give it back!
Show yourself.
No more does he silence me. We may speak. Help me, please.
Caleb's letter changed your life. How did it feel at the time?
It tore me in two. I loved Alexander, but I deserved to marry a man who would be true. Caleb seemed decent. I believed he loved me. I thought I married the better brother, but I'd married a liar. A liar and a devil. And yet, not even he deserves this. No one deserves this.
When did you learn that Caleb had lied to you about his brother's infidelity?
Who goes worse shod than the shoemaker's wife? There was no one moment. One day I knew what he'd done, and knew I'd known it for the longest time. Alexander had his flaws, but he loved the whole
No
of
tak.
me. Now I'm sewn into a festering sack with the quivering remnants of my husband and the angry ghost of his dead brother. Please, let me out.
Who taught Caleb the resurrection ritual?
To say it was taught would mean he'd learned it. He read it off a page. As a sorcerer, Caleb makes a fine cobbler. Thing about Caleb, he was a good listener. As he worked, clients would bend his ear. The Haskell boy, for one. As Caleb pinned the governor's shoes, young Lammy would talk magic. Nonsense, really. But Caleb was listening.
Mhm.
Wait, Lammy Haskell gave Caleb the resurrection ritual.
After Lammy mentioned the ritual, Caleb became obsessed with it. He begged. Lammy, in his misplaced generosity, gave it. Caleb was intent on dark work. Lammy furnished written instructions.
Mhm.
Ruth, your husband Caleb's botched resurrection ritual brought you back, but allowed his brother Alexander to take you hostage.
Once we deal with the Watson brothers, you shall be free to ascend.
Do what you must. I'll suffer it if it leaves me free to go. No! We can stay. Please, Ruth, let us stay.
Look at you. You're counterfeit, a sham of a thing. Your so-called life is no life at all. Caleb lied and stole your love. But when the time was right, you lied and stole his body. We're ending this nonsense now.
Okej. Wyrok. Dawać, trzeba...
Caleb Watson, you're past saving. We can but grant you the mercy of oblivion.
But what about me? What about Ruth?
Ruth is free to go.
I shall have my rest now. Thank you.
O. Dobrze zrobiłem? Teraz? To jest...
No, not yet. I was winning.
Czeka mnie Aleksander. Uj. Mogę tam jakoś normalnie przejść? Muszę znowu naokoło dymać.
The line twixt love and hate is thin and easily crossed, especially between brothers.
None are better placed to wound than your own blood. That was something.
Don't take it to heart. Their choices are not your business.
Our choices are my business. And their consequences too.
Our love story shall have a better ending. I shall
Dokładnie.
be as I was before, as if I'd never gone away.
Aye. I hear you.
Good. Now, let's see what Lammy Haskell has to say about raising spirits from the dead.
Governor,
May I help?
I have to admit, this is an unusual case.
Yes, but have you solved it?
I believe so. But the culprit was not responsible for the plague. At least not directly.
Have you found the witch or have you not?
Someone here has been dabbling in some dark magic. I have the name.
So, what are you waiting for?
Don't you want to hear the name?
I do not need to. The principle is what matters.
Not exactly. The name is Lamentation Haskell.
No, it can't be. My son is studious. Curious, too curious at times, perhaps. But
Ciekawe.
he does not have a bad bone in his heart.
He showed Caleb Watson a ritual. The cobbler used it and became possessed.
Even if true, it would only mean my son was exposed to corruption. It happened before. Bring me proof, Banisher. Find the real source of evil.
I'll get it. Mark me.
Okej.
I must find your...
His interests take him hither and thither. If he isn't here, he must be working on the outskirts. He's been sprucing up one of the abandoned houses there. I ordered them emptied when the sickness hit. Here, take the gate key.
A,
See for yourself. You're wrong about him. You're wrong about my son. Needless to say that I count, of course, on your discretion.
nie pan jest. Tylko se pod dywan zamieść.
He was quick to condemn till it was his own son on the block. Who's he really protecting?
We'll bring him the proof he wants. If the boy is guilty, his father may not be able to protect him.
Jak po prostu puszcza syna sobie do przodu, czy sobie łazi gdzie chce?
Hell's balls. What happened here?
Something's emanating from under there.
No wonder this place is off limits.
Kurwa, wrażające.
One of these must be Lammy's hideaway. Lammy, you here?
Zamknięte z drugiej strony.
This is locked from the other side.
On tu się bawi, te eksperymenty robił. Ciekawe. Aha, czyli naokoło można pójść? Nie. Można do środka wyjść. Tędy. Co to mamy w książkę? Mhm. Jakaś mapa? Puść to, kurwa, ty. Instrument też. Okej.
The incisions are clean. The precision of an expert.
Kurwa.
There's magic here, though faint.
A to jest ten koleś, ten kolega. Mhm. Mhm.
Harreldo. Mean anything to you?
Not a thing.
He mentioned an old mill. Seemed fascinated by the place. Nothing incriminating. Yet.
Remember what we found at Caleb
Aha, i on był ukrytym.
Watson's? Maybe we're not looking in the right place. If I had something to hide, I might hide it in an abandoned mill.
Mhm. Tam dalej to jest. Lul. I co, idziemy na piechotę? Czy telepamy? No coś na piechotę można pójść. Nie.
Think you could take on a ghost? Possession incoming. Move it. Watch out. Spectre possession.
They brought more friends.
Try this on for size.
Kurwa.
Why a mill?
Away from the village. Perfect for his research. Perfect to hide secrets.
He's not out here for pleasure, that's... What should we expect up there?
A gateway to the mythical Aralu, whatever that is. Otherwise, terrible tragedy. Dark
Terrible.
doings, sick secrets, and a wild guess.
A secret, no sexy coś. Sexy goats.
Did we miss a few? They're vexed now.
Sit down.
Nie, balasie. kawał drogi od wioski poszedł? Nie bał się?
Looks derelict.
Tu mamy ognisko, tak.
Is he really inside? Is it just me or?
I felt it too.
Świeża laska.
If you need a rest, this place is as good as any.
Może jest na to nie, ale... Ognisko spalić trzeba. Idź do kibla.
A few moments later.
Beware. Wards.
Mm.
Missed me?
Always.
Mm.
I don't know what to make you angry. Oh there!
Chłopaka narażamy na niebezpieczeństwo. Zniszczyliśmy mu. O nie, pojechał na dół.
Guess we're not going that way.
There should be a way up here.
Mm. Dzięki, stara. Lód. Coś porwało chłopaka, czy go opętało? Nie. Jakie widoki, ty.
What hides here in the dark? Come out, come out.
Za książka? Ktoś tu przezywał chłopaczyna. A, o nie, otchłań badał.
Deja vu.
He tried his hand at several translations.
Co to jest? Biedni amatorzy? Prosimy o pomoc syna Haskella, który w przeciwieństwie do...
This relay lad seems dangerous.
His apprentice seems to be following him down the same path.
Mhm.
So, what are you hiding in here, evil spawn?
Glancing at the original writing, Lammy's work was poor. No wonder the ritual he spawned for Caleb from those botched words of power went wrong.
Aha.
He doesn't speak well of his dad.
He thought he was better. That's not a particularly difficult task, in fairness.
We need to get to the top floor. Bet we'll find something.
Czekaj, jeszcze to.
More ghost wards. Someone was being extra careful.
Tak po prostu?
Here, I found something.
Czekaj. Świnia. Amulet Akle. Dodaję amulet. Nie sobie. Padł
Why
na...
did he feel like he needed so much protection? More magic mockery. He wished to disguise his presence, or perhaps to distract from it.
Mapa młynu.
It's just a lift. Why is this mechanism so complex?
Co to jest?
That
Fajna
book
książka.
again.
The Agrippa. That's not good. Not good at all.
What level of not good are we talking about exactly?
This book promises eternal life, but the promise is a trap. Let's hope it hasn't been used.
I demon chowywa się w tym czai?
Should be useful.
Okej.
The lift should work now.
Szybko.
All this is more serious than we thought. I'm apprehensive. Not just because we're going underground.
We'll be careful. We
Na
don't know
pewno.
what Lammy was up to. And the signs are not encouraging.
Dobra, idziemy po tego gniota. Syna. O,
Did you bring your gardening tools?
o nie.
No? Moving on then.
Odpalił otchłań.
Hell's bombs. Another sorrow used as a guardian.
A, tu za plecami jak zwykle.
Bastard!
One down. Now. I see no more pillars.
That was filthy. When all this is over, I might retire.
You'd miss it. You know you would. You need to see this.
Ja?
Dead animals, again. Different symbols
Ah.
and magic. Seems they were used as bait. Is this how we got through the Sorrow's vigilance?
Perhaps, perhaps, perhaps.
So, here we are.
I suppose now we step into the void.
Suppose we do.
Nie.
Dark rituals, void breach, general weirdness. Lemmy can't be far.
A, zdolny chłopak.
Wards, think you can fend for yourself?
Sure.
Wards work well enough. You didn't need to kill so many bots.
Demonologists use necromancy. Maybe he thought he'd...
It's awfully calm. Why is it awfully calm?
I on polas. Tak daleko? Stołek tu jest jakiś.
Wards, you're on your own.
Co on tu chce zrobić?
Spectres. They haven't noticed us. Stay low.
Gdzie jest ten low, kurwa? Nie ma stay low, kurwa.
Think we've fixed it.
Co to jest?
An Ariadne's thread leading through the void. Very useful indeed.
Very useful right until it falls apart. Then you're stuffed like roast meat in a turkey. Have some of this.
Nie ma, kurwa.
Destroy those ghost wards if you want me back.
Proszę, mówisz masz. Aha. To musimy iść na tą linę tam dalej. Czyli postawił jakieś nędzne pułapki i poszedł dalej. Jebaniec. Zapasy tu przyniósł sobie, kurwa.
Creepy hideout. The governor's spawn likes a bit of drama.
Co to mamy? Wyłomu, okej.
This one's different. Looks like it died diseased.
Mhm. Okej.
This is some dark, sideways magic.
It's forbidden. I've read it.
Sometimes I worry about you. Ugh. What is this thing?
Plazma.
Banisher rule number 4.
If it oozes, don't touch it. Another botched experiment?
It may be native to the void. So, you can see me. Aren't you full of surprises, young Master Haskell?
You may talk. A Banisher ghost. Amazing. How on God's earth did you find me? Never mind that. Thank the Lord you did. Thought I was going to grow old in here.
Were you stuck in here?
In the Araloo? Originally, I was searching for the source of the poisoning. I may have overestimated my talents. Still, an amazing place to be stuck in, no? Tell me, how did you get past the Guardian beneath the mill? Did you use a decoy?
We fought it. Don't change the subject.
You fought it? Of course you did. A good thing, too. I was starting to think it was wise to me tricks. Oh, but I have so many questions.
This isn't a social call, kid. And we're the ones with the questions.
Oh. Oh. Of course.
We must talk of Caleb Watson. Why in the hell would you give him a resurrection ritual?
Ruth's death hit poor Caleb hard. He was alone, and so I would often stop by his workshop. We talked. He took a keen interest in my studies and was a good listener. When he learned that she could possibly return, he had one question. How?
You saw his grief as an opportunity to test the effects of the lesser palingenesis.
Oh, you know the ritual too? Amazing, isn't it?
I've studied it. The actual ritual, not the mangled version you gave Caleb.
Yes, and I'm sorry. I found it in a copy of De Occulti Philosophia by Cornelius Agrippa von Nettersheim. A remarkable book.
I've met my fair share of illustrious occultists, and none owned an authentic Agrippa. Much is lost in translation or altered in the printing. I doubt your copy is an exception.
Of course! The power is in the words, and mine were wrong, so the power went awry. How very fascinating.
Proszę.
Are you aware of what would happen if people learnt of your studies?
Surely the acquisition of knowledge cannot be a sin.
Do you remember Deborah?
Miss Comenius. Yes, of course, I remember.
Your father tasked us with an investigation. One way or the other, we must return with the mystery solved.
Ah. I think I understand what you're saying. I might be in a tiny little bit of, danger.
You see ghosts. You stroll the void as if it were your garden. You possess and share forbidden rituals.
Moje to jest wcielenie tego typa.
I'm Lammy Haskell, and I am a man of many sciences. I am in fact a true pursuer.
That raises more questions than it answers.
What are the pillars of the universe? Which principles underpin existence? As occultists, do we change the world or scratch upon its surface? Each discipline I embrace peels back a new layer of reality. I'm yet at the beginning, and see where I already stand. Amazing, no?
You did not find the void breach beneath the mill by accident.
Wiemy kto go
You had
kurwa
help.
tam.
Who taught you?
I did my research.
Suddenly, you're a man of few words.
I'd rather not involve those not present. Discretion, you understand.
Your father is convinced a witch poisoned his well. Caleb Watson was cursed by a ritual you gave him. I'd focus if I were you.
We must counter the devil with knowledge of his tricks. That, my father always said, is the purest of God's work.
Aye. I can imagine your father saying that.
When I was 10, he gave me my initiation. Demonology, sir, as he would say. He saw me as his heir. Then, of a sudden, the books were forbidden. So I stole them. The very same books he'd forced upon me as a boy. I understand them where he does not. I did no wrong, apart from a little theft.
You've studied demonology. Did you do it alone?
When my father forbade me to continue, I confess I disobeyed him in secret. Those big books were very boring until they were forbidden. Suddenly I could not get enough of their secret knowledge. Funny, eh? More recently, a good friend of my father showed me that I had only been scratching at the surface.
Who was your father's friend?
An itinerant Frenchman who often visited New Eden in recent years. He called himself a true pursuer. As a thinker, he was prolific and profound. My father was so proud to be included in his discourse. For him, knowledge is the ladder to greatness, and greatness is the prize. To me, knowledge is itself the prize.
From the looks of this place, you're knee-deep in research. What are you doing here exactly?
Searching for the origin of the Harrow's plague, of course. And I have a theory on the subject.
Of course you do. Go on then.
Now, at first, I believed the water poisoned, but my father sealed the well, and yet folk remained sick. They looked for witchcraft, a foolish, uneducated suspicion, yes, but with some truth concealed behind it. You see, the Araloo taints New Eden. Its influence leaches into the Harrows. The evidence is everywhere.
By the Araloo, do you mean the Void?
Neither name does it justice. This place is beyond words. The Araloo, Mr. McCraith, is made of the very fabric of our primordial myths. Isn't it amazing?
How can you be sure the Void has tainted the region?
In New Eden, the threshold between our plane and this is thin. Even I, a novice, may reach the frontier and then go beyond. I also believe it happened before. Some years ago, New Eden was hit by another epidemic.
Was it the same illness?
I believe that first epidemic was caused by the porosity of the frontier between New Eden and the Araloo. Although, where theirs was an affliction of burning flesh, ours is a corruption of mind and spirit. And I believe I have found its source. There is a substance, a strange ooze. You may have noticed it. This, I believe, is the true source of the Harrow's poison. It carries a particular stink, on the scent of which I experience first confusion, then a loss of control over my limbs.
Taki koleś testuje to na sobie.
Confusion, paralysis. Can you tell me more?
I felt my movements slowing, my thinking too. Space seemed to thicken. But wait, what if it was not space thickening, but time slowing? In recent months, many in New Eden have spoken of similar feelings, of lost time, hours untrackable, days passing unremembered. Who knows how the Araloo disturbs the minds and bodies of women and men? Unfortunately, I cannot reach the source. The Araloo is a formidable place. Tricky. A maze constantly evolving, changing, reshaping itself. The isthmus, for example. I found an oozing crack in the ground. The terrain then remade itself, and I can get to it no longer.
Perhaps we might be able to find a way through and take a look at that source.
Would you? That would be splendid. Would you mind taking notes?
Dobra, ciekawa historia. To się wkręciłem, tylko ten dialog tutaj. Akurat ten.
With that sorrow gone, I can leave. Do be careful. My home is your home. If you need anything,
Ja chętnie ja bym go zostawił, a tego grubego
The
diebał
Araloo is not your
do ojca.
Lammy. But thank you.
Pardon my morbid enthusiasm, Mistress Duarte, but could I ask you a few questions?
What do you wish to know?
Do you still need to eat? Do you feel hunger? Sorry, it's just you're the first ghost I've met, in person, as it were.
I don't eat. Not in the way you do. I feel hunger. Again, not in the way you do.
Fascinating. And can you touch things, smell them? Are colours the same as you remember them?
My senses are different. It's difficult to describe how. I can see, sometimes touch. I cannot smell. Red tells me this is a blessing.
How do you manifest in this plane? Do you feel bound, or are you here by choice?
It feels as if I were clinging to a rope, high above the abyss. Even if I wished to let go, I could not bring myself to do it.
I see. What about your banisher skills? Can you use them? Do the accoutrements of your craft still work? As a ghost, do they not harm you?
The marks on my hands and the rings on my fingers aren't actually there. They have no more effect on me than a memory.
Can you talk to any ghost you wish?
No. I sense traces of their presence. To talk to them, I must still do the work.
And yet here I am, talking to you. How marvelous. The dead are rarely as articulate,
Zgada,
nor
on
are they
zgada.
accommodating. In fact, they're often quite rude.
We should probably get going. Some other time then.
No, myślę, że to się nigdy nie
But
skończy.
we've merely scratched at the surface of the great mysteries. I mean, look around us. We stand here beyond.
Ja zostanę komputer, stawię komputer na nas, on dalej będzie pierdolił.
I mean to say, yes, Mistress Duarte.
To chyba koniec. Tędy mam iść? Tędy?